You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Labs with Bayut.com. Today's guest is the managing partner of one of the leading real estate firms here in Dubai, Mr. Hadi Hamra.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So this is your first podcast, sorry, not to put any pressure
First
on you,
one,
right?
yes.
How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Good to have you on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Just before we get into today's subject with regards to the real estate market, how's things at Driven Properties?
Exciting. We have done a lot of initiatives this year. We have done a lot of breaking record deals in the market. We're happy and proud of. Recently, this 362 million dirham plot in Business Bay.
Congratulations.
Last week, thank you very much. So it's exciting, we're excited. We are happy with the market and we're happy where the market is going. So let's see what the future has for us.
Just moved into your new residence.
Correct. So we acquired Emaar Square Building 3 a few months back, almost a year back. And we reallocated our headquarters, Driven Properties, to the first and the second floor of that building. So it's an amazing office, and we invite you to come and visit us, please, because I think we have the best office in the market.
So Hadi, I visit real estate offices day in, day out, right?
Yeah.
And there's many nice offices out there,
Yes.
but I've never seen an office with a sweet shop.
Yes, the candy room. We have a candy room. Abdullah, actually, our chairman and the CEO, he came up with nice ideas. The candy shop is one of them. We have a hairdresser, we have a barber, we have a de-stress and yoga room.
Okay.
And that actually helped us a lot in grabbing top talents from the market. Yes, so we're happy with Abdullah's ideas, and that's how he keeps this company growing and moving forward.
So Hadi, just let's go into today's subject, okay, and then try and understand what's happening with the property prices. Obviously, pre-COVID, Dubai has had exponential growth, okay, but how would you describe the state of the market currently?
We see it very well that the market is in expansion mode. The market is very strong. The market is solid. We see that, and we have data and numbers proving that, and we have seen that in the first 3 quarters of this year. So volumes have increased, numbers have increased, and we have started seeing this in the start of this quarter. So market again is strong and solid, and we hope that it continues to be as is for the next year also.
Would you suggest that the market is still in that boom, or would you say that it's starting to mature a little bit now, it's starting to level out?
The market is a bit different from where we were in 2022, 2023. I believe that the market was hyped, and it was a hype market rather than data-driven. Today, we're more of a data-driven market.
Yep.
Today, both buyers and sellers depend on numbers, depend on data to either buy or sell their properties. The market is mature. The market is getting mature, if not fully matured, which stabilizes the economy in general and the real estate market in specific, for the good for everyone. Yes, we're not in a peak mode. The slope is not going too high, but again, it's for the benefit of everyone and benefit for both buyers and sellers and investors in this market.
So Hadi, what would you say are the key factors in driving property prices so high and rentals in the past few years?
One of the main factors is the political unrest in several countries around the world. Dubai is safe. Dubai is well centered in the globe. We have seen a lot of, and we've been discussing this in the past few times, because of the non-dom regulations in the UK, it has moved, and a lot of UK residents and citizens to Dubai, moved their money to Dubai. We have mentioned a lot of big names who have moved to Dubai, billionaires. All of these factors, with the of course, the population growth has helped in this increase in the market and strengthening this market.
So Hadi, supply and demand is something which we speak about quite regularly on here, and I believe there's roughly, in a ballpark figure, of 40,000 units getting handed over potentially within the next year. Do you feel that the supply will be enough to keep up with the demand?
Sure. So we need to look at two main factors: is the absorption and the supply for this. And when we know for a fact that the population is increasing and has been increasing rapidly, we in Dubai have hit the 4 million mark of the number of people living here, right? So that number of population increase is much higher than the amount of units being handed over. So when you say it's an oversupply, there is no oversupply. The population is increasing, and actually we believe that we have an undersupply of properties rather than oversupply.
Yeah.
We have to also take into consideration something very important: is a lot of developments tend to delay, right? So if, let's say, we have 40,000 properties handing over by next year, right? That does not mean 40,000 will hand over by next year, because
of course,
developments tend to delay, and that's a good thing for the market. So that keeps the market undersupplied, and the demand stays high. And again, numbers prove that. We've seen that in the first 3 quarters of this year, and we are sure that this will continue.
Would you say there's any specific segments, whether it be apartments, villas, townhouses, or specific communities starting to show some pressure?
We have always focused on prime areas when we try to sell properties to our clients. Non-prime areas have seen a bit of difficulties recently, especially because a lot of new developers have come to the market, and many of these developers, not all of them, but many of them have no background in developments, no background in sales and marketing. That makes it difficult for them to sell their products. These developers do not and cannot afford prime plots in prime locations. So these prime plots and prime locations are always backed by big developers and strong developers that can maintain and hand over their projects on time. Well, this is one of the main factors, and always we have seen during the past years, prime locations in Dubai or outside Dubai have always maintained their prices, and focusing on Dubai, places like Jumeirah Bay Island or City Walk have always maintained, if not increased in prices. We have barely seen people, if none, have sold in minus or under their purchasing price in Jumeirah Bay Island, as an example. So people have to focus on uniqueness and on a project that is niche for them to make a good investment. And that's probably answers which communities or which areas or villas or types of properties are suffering, let's call it.
Yeah. Let's look at it from an investor's point of view, maybe sitting on a sideline. Would you advise that right now would still be a good time to buy?
I have met a lot of people in 2020, 2021, 2022, and they will keep saying, let's wait. So in 2020, they said, let's wait. 2021, they said, let's wait. 2022, they said, let's wait, and so on, right? And they're still waiting. So these people should keep waiting, because they will never buy. Jokes aside, it's always the right time. It always depends on what is the property you're buying. It depends on the price of this property. It depends on the location of that property. It depends on the amenities in that project. It depends on a lot of things, right? So is it the right time or not? It's always the right time. Again, it depends on that specific investment you're doing.
So Hadi, let's say for people who have invested in the market, right?
Yeah.
We do have obviously some skepticism, which will always be there, but let's say prices did decline or sort of level off. What would you say to those people who have invested?
There's an Arabic saying says, property gets sick but never dies, right? So they should not panic. People should always focus on, as mentioned earlier, prime locations. We have seen that investors who have invested in prime locations, in waterfront locations, in niche areas, in niche projects, they have maintained and done better than other investors. And it's not always about the price, where I buy in this area because the price is cheaper than in that area. It's always about location, amenities, project, name of the developer. These are very important factors to look at. So I don't think anyone should worry if, God forbid, prices start declining. But there are different ways also of maintaining that investment, and we have been doing some recently, renovations. So a lot of people in the market have been purchasing older properties, renovating them, and quite they're done. We had and other people have done quite very well. Villa communities and apartments. So people should have courage to do such investments, and it has proven quite strong outcomes.
Yeah. Look, I think we were mentioning that the day of the buy and flip a property is sort of gone. That boat has sailed, right? It's now the mentality that investors need to be in is more sort of long-term investments.
Yeah.
However, if you are looking for that shorter term and that quicker return, then it may take a little bit of extra capital to renovate, and then
Correct.
you could get a little bit more lucrative return on your money at that point, right?
Yeah.
You speak to contractors these days, like they're snowed under, they don't have...
They're busy.
Yeah, look, they're very, very busy, and it's very, very difficult, which I'm sure is great for them because now they can start charging more.
Correct.
But it's very, very difficult to get a good contractor to even come out and price a job within a certain time. So that market seems to be really on fire, and I think I've mentioned it on here once or twice before that with a lot of these new projects coming up and being very, very minimal in terms of how much square footage you have, people are opting for the older buildings, the older developments with bigger square footage and just ripping it out and doing it up to their standard, you know.
Yeah.
Which is good as well. We're seeing a lot of interest in that.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very interesting. But look, I think the main point of that question is that the market is probably at this moment in time now for more longer term investment for your typical investor. Final question.
Yes, sir.
If you had to give one piece of advice to a potential investor who was interested in entering Dubai's real estate market, what would that piece of advice be?
Most important is to choose your advisor in the market. Whoever it is in the market, this advisor has to be very well educated about the market, and this advisor should advise the investor on solid developments with strong developers backing these developments, because such act keeps the market strong and keeps the market steady, where education is very important for both the agents and for the investors themselves. Always choose wisely where to invest, again based on location, based on brand name, based on developer name, based on the track record of this developer and the track record of your agent. So this is a piece of advice that I can give to agents and investors in today's market.
Perfect. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Hadi, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your words of wisdom.
Thank you, sir.
For all the viewers out there, if you are looking for an educated agent with a good brand backing, then please feel free to reach out to Hadi or one of his team.
Thank you.
Who would be more than happy to help you with your property search. Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate Labs, and Hadi, thank you once again.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much.
So everyone, thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of the Real Estate Labs. You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut.